Firefighters were praised after just 4 people were treated by medics following a blaze that ripped through a high-rise block of flats in Northern Ireland. Emergency services are at the scene of the fire at Coolmoyne House in Dunmurry, near Belfast, where residents have been evacuated from the building. Northern Ireland Ambulance Service said the fire was reported from the 9th floor about 6 p.m. on Wednesday. The blaze comes months after a local councillor sought assurances that the high-rise was safe in the aftermath of the Grenfell Tower disaster. The man whose flat caught alight was rescued by fire service personnel who also helped lead other residents to safety. High-rise flats in Seymour Hill, Dunmurry on fire. pic.twitter.com clip3ZW1C28 Robert Cullen at Robert Cullen FC November 15, 2017 PA Wirpa Images 4 people were being treated by the ambulance service. Northern Ireland Fire and Rescue Service Group Commander Jeff Somerville said the accidental fire, which he said was suspected to have been caused by a toaster, was well developed when crews arrived within 5 minutes of the emergency call. "I am very relieved there is no loss of life, and that is only because of the courageous actions of our firefighters here today," he said. "We had 55 firefighters in attendance, and thanks to their professionalism no one has lost their life in this premises." The fire comes a day after the 5-month anniversary of the Grenfell high-rise inferno, which killed at least 80 people. Evacuated residents gathered outside the building as the emergency response unfolded. Some later went to a nearby community center. Some expressed concerns that fire alarms did not through the building when the blaze took hold. Somerville said the alarm system operated as designed, with the alarms inside the man's flatting and a less alarm system in the communal area to open-air vents also activating. He said alarms in other flats should only have had if they detected smoke. "The fire alarm system worked as expected," he said. Somerville said crews had averted the spread of the fire to other flats. "It flashed out through the windows of the flat on 2 different sides of the building," he said. "When we arrived it was a very well-developed fire, and I'm glad to say it was very quickly brought under control." PA Wirpa Images Robert Swagman, who lives on the 12th floor, said the first he knew of the fire was when fire crews arrived. He insisted an alarm should have had throughout the building. "Especially after the Grenfell Tower accident, the main question and the main concern of mine is the fact why didn't the alarms go off with such a big fire on every floor," he said. Mr. Swagman said it had been frightening experience. "I am okay now, but just a couple of minutes ago I was shaking," he said. PA Wirpa Images fellow resident Janice Sloan said, "It's such a shock to have such an event like this. The first we knew anything was wrong was the 2 fire brigades outside." Assemblymember Edwin Poots said his overriding emotion was one of relief. "It's one of huge relief that this isn't another Grenfell disaster," he said. "This is a high tower and it could have been much, much worse, but we had a brilliant response from the fire service who quickly brought the fire under control and got everyone out of the building, supported by the other emergency services." The Democratic Unionist representative said residents had endured a hugely traumatic experience. "The big concern for a lot of the residents is that smoke alarms did not go off throughout the building. So many residents were in a burning building and didn't realize it," he said. Moray and Northern Ireland Fire Belfast Dunmurry suggest a correction.